YouTube, what's going on? I'm back, and today we're breaking down the 10 highest rated receivers in Madden 22. Of course, EA came out with the list today, Monday, July 26th. The 10 highest rated receivers in Madden 22. So I know what you guys are thinking. Some of this list a little questionable, so let me know in the comments down below who you think got snubbed. We're going to kind of break it down in this video a little bit on who I think got snubbed, who I think belongs, but let me know in the comments below who you think. I also just started my brand new TikTok. We have over 100,000 views on our first video, so make sure you follow me on TikTok. I'm going to have a ton of Madden content on the TikTok channel for Madden 22. Don't forget to subscribe here, of course, to the channel on YouTube. We're going to be bringing plenty of tips, gameplays. I'm going to have ebooks, coachings, all coming for Madden 22. We're less than a month away. I cannot wait. I appreciate you guys' support, man. Make sure you follow me on all social medias, also on Instagram, on Twitter. Stay up to date with my content. Hit that bell so you're notified when I do drop the content. But I really do appreciate you guys. But let's jump into today's video. Let's talk about the 10 highest rated receivers in Madden 22. YouTube, what's going on? So today we're looking at the top 10 wide receivers in Madden 22. Of course, EA came out today as part of ratings week. And they're going to do, I think the top 10 ratings for every position this week. Obviously today, Monday here, July 26th, we have the top 10 wide receivers. And I'm going to take a look at the list. I'm going to kind of dissect it, give my thoughts on it. We're excited for Madden 22. I do play a good amount of regs, so I enjoy the ratings, seeing who the top guys are going to be, what abilities they might have, the top teams in the game. So it's an exciting time where, we've got less than a month to go till the release of Madden 22. Can't wait to get into it. And speaking of getting into it, let's get into the top 10 wide receivers in Madden 22. So taking a look at the list right here. Now, I will say I don't hate the list. I think it's solid. There's a few things that I think I don't agree with. But starting out, I think the top four for sure, maybe even top five, but I think the top four for sure is pretty good. I think that is pretty accurate. You take a look, number one overall, Devon Dams, 99. Now, should he be in 99 is my question. I think there's, I think you can debate that he's the number one receiver in the NFL. Like, that's fine. But I'm not sure if he gets that 99 overall. We don't even know if he's going to be a Packer. It looks like he might be a Packer here. Him and Rodgers, one last run at it. But you got to think going into next season that Devontae Adams will be on a different team. I think he's going to get a good contract. He's super talented, obviously. But he gets that 99 overall. He's the first member of that 99 club member. So I want to know in the comments also, do you guys think Devontae Adams should be a 99? I think that's a very good debate. I think he has the talent of it, but I don't know if he should get the 99. I could see him at like a 97, 98 overall, but still being maybe the number one receiver on the list. So, taking a look at Devontae Adams first, obviously the first member of the 99 club. So congrats to Devontae. I mean, that's an awesome honor. This 99 club has become very popular over the last few years in Madden. And he gets that elusive first person in the 99 club from Madden 22. So it's a great honor. You move down to number two, and to me, there's no one better than Deandra Hopkins. I mean, what this guy has done over the last, I want to say almost, he's probably closing in on 10 years now in the league. Maybe he's at 7 or 8. But this guy has done it with every single quarterback that he's had. And most of those quarterbacks, until he got to Deshaun Watson, none of these quarterbacks were that good. And this guy produced numbers year in and year out. He's still doing it. Now, obviously, he's on the Arizona Cardinals. But when he was in Houston, man, he had, he didn't have the best quarterbacks out there throwing the ball. And he still would put up those numbers. So I'm always a huge fan of DeAndre Hopkins. I think this guy is elite. One of the best, I think, in my opinion, all time that we've seen. Especially, like I said, when he's produced with kind of subpar quarterbacks, and now he's got Kyler Murray over there and that Arizona offense. I mean, they're going to be fun to use in Madden 22. They were fun to use in Madden 21. I think they're going to even be better in Madden 22. So that's the team I'm really looking at, and I love DeAndre Hopkins. You move down to number 3, and what can you say? Tyreek Hill. I mean, the fastest guy in Madden. For sure, he's going to be 99 speed in the game. No doubt about it. That Chiefs offense, real life Madden, it doesn't matter. They are elite. It's just some of the best. You got Mahomes and Tyreek. You got Kelsey. Then you got Hardman now also, who's about 97 speed, 96 speed. So they have speed all over the field. And Tyreek Hill is just an absolute weapon. The thing that I like to do in Madden with him is, obviously, you send him on a streak, you send him on a fade, you chuck that thing deep, right? But the other thing I like to do with Tyreek is I'll put him on some jet sweeps, reverses around the edge, try to get him open space, bubble screens to him if you're playing a lot of regs, or if you grab Tyreek Hill in Ultimate Team, some of these things you can do with them: wide receiver screens, bubble screens, jet sweeps. Love to get him the ball in the open field with all that speed. You move down to number 4, and I think, going into last year, this would be very surprising. But going into this year, I like this choice. Stephon Diggs, what he did with Buffalo and Josh Allen, I mean, was just off the charts. Got him to the AFC Championship. I believe he led the league in receiving yards. I want to say maybe even receptions. He had a tremendous year. And I love the talent of Stephon Diggs. He's just one of the best in the game. So glad that he kind of, he was unhappy in Minnesota, got to Buffalo, and man, did he produce. Him and Josh Allen, like Tyreek and Mahomes, like Devontae and A-Rod, like Hopkins and Murray, Diggs and Allen is one of those combos that I can't wait to watch this upcoming NFL season, and I can't wait to see. I'm probably going to use the Buffalo Bills a decent amount here in Madden 22. Stephon Diggs is a guy I'm always looking to get on my ultimate team. So Stephon Diggs at number 4, I think that fits the bill pretty well. Then we go to number 5. Now Julio, talent wise, is a top 5 receiver, no doubt about it. He's been that way for a while. The years he's had in Atlanta, and he would do this. He'd be injured a little bit, and he would still be elite. Now my only concern here is, like, I think talent wise he is number 5. You could argue even higher, but my thing is now with AJ Brown in the mix, I think he's going to lose a little bit of volume, a little bit of his targets. I think he's going to take a step back statistically. I think athletically he's still going to be fine. So I don't know how that will affect him, as far as that goes. But talk about Tennessee with 2 guys, and at the end of this we're going to kind of get into my snubs of who isn't in the top 10, and you'll see AJ Brown is going to be one of those, and that tandem is probably, in my opinion, might be the best wide receiver tandem now in the NFL with Julio and AJ Brown, 2 big, huge, great athletic guys that can run routes. Also, a lot of speed with both those guys. So, Julio, I think talent-wise, is a top 5 player. Now, the thing is, I think his numbers might drop off a little bit, having to share that load with AJ. They have Derrick Henry. They're going to run the ball. So, I think his numbers are going to drop a little bit, but talent-wise, he's still there. And that's a team I'm really looking forward to, probably making a deep run this year in the NFL. Now, when we get to number 6 here, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because I think Michael Thomas. Now, I'm interested to see how he does this year. Right? They're saying now he's hurt. He's going to miss a few weeks. He lost Drew Brees. We know that he's the slant route master, right? And Drew Brees is always looking at him. He's had all these great years with Drew Brees now. So I'm interested to see how he does here with, whether it be Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill at quarterback. How does he produce with them at the helm? And I do believe he's injured for a while, so I'm not sure if Michael Thomas deserves to be number 6. I know he was up higher last year. I think the drop off is fair considering the circumstances and what's going to be happening this year. So I don't have a problem with him at number 6. I could see him even a little bit lower here, under some of the other guys. That I do believe that this 6 to 10, these guys can kind of be mixed up. They can also be out of the top 10, and we're going to go over some guys that I think could be ahead of them. So Michael Thomas, though, I still love him. He's an elite receiver. He's so good at those slant routes. And that offense can still be good. You got him and Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield. So if they can figure out that quarterback position, I still think their defense is relatively solid. So we'll see how Michael Thomas does this year. We'll see how that injury holds up. And we'll see how he performs with the new quarterback under the helm. Number 7, Keenan Allen. Now, I do think Keenan Allen is one of the most underrated, disrespected receivers in the NFL. This guy has been good for a while, too. And he's done it with multiple quarterbacks. Obviously, he had Phillip Rivers. Now he has Justin Herbert. And I think having Justin Herbert at quarterback is going to make Keenan Allen, probably he could potentially be in a top 5 position at the end of next year. I think he's just uber talented. He can do all the things out a receiver, too. He can play the slot. He can play the outside. He can, run the underneath routes. He can also go deep a little bit. His speed's not elite, but he can get deep if he needs to. Love Keenan Allen's game. I think he's going to have a huge year, him and Austin Eckler, with Justin Herbert, who I'm very high on also. So Keenan Allen at number 7, 93 overall. I think it's fair. I really do. I think he's in a good spot at that number 7 spot. Now, at number 8, you go down here to Amari Cooper. Now, this is where I'm not sure he deserves. I don't think Amari Cooper deserves that number 8 spot. Now, Amari Cooper, is he super talented? Yes, he is. One of the most talented receivers in the NFL. I don't know if he deserves to be ahead of some of the other guys we're going to mention. I'm not sure if he even deserves to be over a guy like Mike Evans, a guy like DK Metcalf, a guy like Justin Jefferson, even maybe Calvin Ridley, who we're going to get to a little bit later. But Amari Cooper, I love his game. I'm not sure he deserves that 8 spot. I think you're going to even see a leap this year from CeeDee Lamb in that offense. And CeeDee Lamb could even potentially pass Amari Cooper, and they still have Michael Gallup there. So there's just a lot of guys to go around. They have two good running backs in Zeke and Tony Pollard. You know, you got Dak out there who obviously helps Cooper, but I don't know about the number 8 spot. Love his game, but I think that's definitely a spot here where we could see him either drop or have someone replace him at that 8 spot. Now number 9, Mike Evans. Not sure about this spot either. Now I do like Mike Evans. I think he can be ahead of Cooper, but I'm not sure he deserves to be number 9. I think number 9. I think there's some guys you can put over Mike Evans for sure. A lot of weapons to go around in that Tampa Bay offense. Of course, you got Chris Godwin, and to me, Evans and Godwin are kind of 1A, 1B. They're kind of similar in my opinion. So if you're gonna put Evans around that 9, 10 spot, I think Godwin isn't far off from that spot. Um, Obviously Mike Evans is a freak. He's like 6'5", can do it all. Just not sure he's top 10 elite as far as the game goes. But 90-01 overall, still solid. Obviously Tampa Bay is going to be a team that most players are going to use, especially play regular teams. He's not a super popular guy in Ultimate Team that often, unless height and spectacular catch, things of that nature come into play. He doesn't get that much love because of his speed. He's not one of the fastest. He's not going to blow by you. He usually has about a 90 speed max, 91 speed max in Madden. So I think Madden wise, he's definitely not number 9. Real life wise, he's around that area. Just not sure he deserves to be in that top 10. You move down to number 10, and this one to me is very surprising. You got A-Rob, Allen Robinson. I don't think he is a top 10 receiver. I think there's a lot of guys you can put ahead of him. I think Allen Robinson is super talented. Also, he's kind of got unlucky with quarterback play in his career. You look back to Jacksonville, didn't have a good quarterback. You look at him in Chicago, he was kind of stuck with Mitchell Trubisky, then Nick Foles. So I think Allen Robinson, with the right quarterback in the right system, I think this guy can be a top 10 receiver, no doubt about it. I just think as far as what he's done so far, and some of that's not even his fault, doesn't deserve to get that top 10 spot. I do think he has the talent. I'm interested to see what his kind of abilities are going to be, what his actual ratings will be, his speed, things of that nature, because I like his game. I just don't think he deserves to be number 10. So let's take a look now at the guys that I think can be ahead of some of these, especially 8 through 10, who I think they can all kind of be switched in. Now, the first guy that we're going to take a look at is DK Metcalf here. I'm just Googling images just so you guys get like a visual. But DK Metcalf, to me, is a top 10 receiver now in the NFL. He came onto the scene last year, really just kind of took over that number 1 role in Seattle past Tyler Lockett, which is another. They still have a great, tandem there, but DK Metcalf is just a freak. He's like the new Julio, the new Randy Moss. Love his game, all the speed in the world, all the height, all the strength, can run all the routes too. This guy is legit, and I'm surprised he was not in the top 10. You gotta think when we see the rest of the ratings, he'll be pretty close to it. I think by potentially even the end of the season, Madden wise, he could be in that top 3 to 5 range of receivers. The guy is a freak. Another guy that I'm looking forward to seeing this year, and I think he could be in that top 10 in Madden wise, is Calvin Ridley. Look at Atlanta lost Julio. As far as fantasy football goes, Calvin Ridley's going to be a monster this year. He's the number 1 target for sure. He's going to get plethora of targets. They're going to feed him the ball. Madden wise, he has all the speed you're looking for. He's usually in that 93 to 95 speed range. Can run all the routes. Usually has good route running in the game. Definitely a guy here that I think could be in the top 10. Take a look at 2 of the rookies that came on last year. I'm talking about Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings, really surpassed Thielen as the number 1 guy. He's kind of like the new Stephon Diggs right there, right, in Minnesota. Can do it all. Route runner, speed, got good height, good size. I think he's about 6'1". So he can do it all. I think he's not in the top 10 now, but he's close to it, right? I think you could put him in that 11 to 14 range as far as Madden goes, and definitely could be at the end of the year in that top 10. I think he's close to it. And then you take a look at a guy like A.J. Brown, another guy, like I said earlier, with Julio, it's going to be tough statistically because he's going to give some of that load to Julio. Like I said, Julio will to him. They're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry. So he's not going to have the great numbers that you'd like to see out of him, but man, he can still produce. He's probably going to have good numbers at least, probably a Pro Bowl type season. I think this guy is basically the next Julio Jones, so it's pretty awesome that they got Julio. Julio can teach him. They can learn together because they're basically kind of the same type of receiver. So I think the sky's the limit for AJ Brown. He could be in the top 10 by the end of the season as well as far as Madden goes. And then my last guy, my kind of sleeper that not a lot of people talk about and probably wouldn't suspect to be in the top 10. I don't think he's in that top 10 as far as Madden wise, but he's close to it. Is Terry McLaurin. Now I love Terry's game. His route running is just so elite. In Madden, I'm hoping he has a route running ability. You add in Ryan Fitzpatrick at the quarterback position. That is a huge upgrade from Alex Smith as far as passing the ball goes. Now I know Alex Smith is probably a better winner. He can manage the game more, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to air that thing out, and you got to think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be looking to Terry McLaurin a lot. Wouldn't be surprised to see this guy get over 100 receptions this year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see his Madden rating go through the roof by the end of the season. I expect him to potentially be in that top 10, maybe even closer to that top 8. This is a guy that I really think could definitely get into that top 10 as far as Madden ratings goes, and I think the sky's the limit for Terry McLaurin, scary Terry, in Madden and in real life. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's been it for the top 10 receivers. We kind of reviewed it, and then we also, I gave some of my guys that I think got snubbed, or some guys that I think potentially could be in the top 10 at the end of the season. But if you guys enjoyed this, you want more Madden news, I'm going to have a bunch of tips, of course. You guys see my channel, I always have Madden tips, some of the best plays, money plays, route combos, all that stuff, game plays. So make sure to subscribe here to the channel on YouTube, hitting that bell so you're notified, when I drop my content. Also follow me on all social medias. I just started up my TikTok, so check all that stuff out. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, your boy T Davis is out.